Hey guys and girls, how have you been? I hope you're doing great. Today I have the most exciting news you've ever heard. That's right, the penultimate Steam post about the next WorldBox update is finally out. Let's get started. Well, today, Maxim Karpenkp, creator of WorldBox, right on the anniversary and marking 2 years since the previous MegaBox update, is releasing the Steam post. This one is called WorldBox Update 0.50, the Monolith Awakens. The Steam Open Beta begins on April 1st. This reveals several things. First, the update number 0.50, and second, that the update will be released, even though it's not finished, in beta on April 1st. Then, they confirm it for us. Below we see an image of a brain with hundreds of icons spinning around it, something we'll understand later. They tell us that on that day, the monoliths will awaken with their first power, to rewrite the very essence of life around them. They can alter genes and species traits, sometimes granting consciousness where none existed before, allowing the emergence of new civilizations. And we see the image of a monolith awakening, filled with a mysterious red aura. We are told that in some cases, the power of the monoliths can trigger unexpected mutations. And they show us the list of mutations, some of which look like Godzilla-type monsters. And here I clarify that generating consciousness and life refers to the monolith being able to transform previously uncivilized units into civilized units. Then they tell us that each intelligent species has its own clan traits, culture, language, and religion, which can be adjusted and combined. Some species don't mind sharing cities with others. Others, however, are fiercely territorial. This tells us that there will be multiracial kingdoms and that the differentiation between species will undoubtedly be very great. Then we get a big surprise. They tell us they've added many new civilizations, and we can see several. The frog civilization, with its wonderful structures built in the swamp biome. I love its sculptures, and it's great that there's differentiation between ports and boats. The penguin civilization, with icy structures built in the permafrost biome, has pretty fun igloos, and especially its ice-crafted boats. And finally, the druid civilization, which we can see is in the clover biome and is heavily inspired by Irish culture. Then they tell us to remember that we can modify any subspecies with attributes like floating in the air, incipient reproduction, or even creating elves that eat wood for breakfast. And they ask us, so, what horrible and beautiful creatures will we create? Then we're shown a picture of a bee's mind section and told that all the previously announced features are tied to an improved AI system that works closely with meta-objects, making units feel a bit more alive than before. This system works like this. Unit traits, statuses, subspecies, clans, cultures, languages, and religions, even items. Technically, for now, they still need to add content for that later, all influence behavior by adding neurons to a unit's decision-making process. This brain screen will allow us to observe the minds of your creatures and also allows us to be a horrible person by silencing specific neurons. Like preventing a king from eating so he slowly starves to death. Not that you'd ever do that, would you? In itself, this gives us thousands of possibilities and new ways to edit each unit. And we can see the mind of a subspecies of demon, and we notice neurons that constitute its behavior, such as reading, kingdom, relationships, money, and well, each neuron can be deactivated or activated, causing, for example, a unit to stop talking or be able to fly. Something like that, I understand. Then they tell us that the new brain AI also integrates with the happiness system. The units now react to what happens to them. If things don't go their way, they can get sad or angry, or even throw tantrums. And when their family dies, well, they might burst into tears. And we see an image that depicts the emotional changes of a creature and what its mood is and why these changes occurred, such as whether it cried, took a nap, broke up with its lover, and so on. It's actually quite complex and complete. In fact, I think WorldBox is now going to be one of the most complex games. Then we see that the eras of the world are now organized like seasons, allowing us to control the flow of time and chaos in the world. These will now be in a sort of clock, and it looks like they'll be adding more eras. Then they show us that we can now edit the items at will, allowing us to know what weapon each unit is carrying. And assigning them a new one, although I don't think we can just assign weapons, but also armor, helmets, and so on. This also comes with a power called Weapon Rain, which will be like a trait rain, allowing for easy weapon assignments. After this, they tell us that, with so many new species, we needed a lot of name generators. So they created a game. Cultures now have a new tab called Onomastics, which controls name templates for units, families, surnames, clans, and cities. It actually looks super complex because I see all kinds of configurations, but they tell us that with time we'll get used to it and that it's not difficult at all. Finally, they tell us about the paradox biome, where time passes in abnormal ways, passing 2 years in the blink of an eye. I suppose time can be turned back. And they tell us that there's a big, really fun feature missing that won't be revealed until April 1st. Later, they tell us that, as for the mobile update, they will release it, but not on the same date as the laptop update. The laptop update is an open beta, and they can't do that on mobile devices. So, they'll be doing a closed beta for mobile devices, and once they fix the bugs, they'll release it for mobile devices, meaning between April and May. And they tell us to stay tuned for everything. So, guys, that's all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.